we're going to triple stream it.
Hey,
That's
everybody,
crazy talk.
welcome over to my emergency guest host with the generational gap. As you can see on the screen already, we've got Robert, the normal host. The co host is missing today because of internet issues, and we are joined by Stephen Ignoramus. Thanks for coming in and joining our conversation already in progress.
So why don't you share that with me, Robert, and
I
put your
just put it
cam
in. I just
put
put
it in
a.
Discord.
Yeah, I just sent it to you in Discord, sir. Sorry.
All right. Sorry, folks out there, if this is a little bit weird. We're trying. It's the first time we've done this, so um,
So while you're pulling it up, I'll read the mission of
please
of
do. Yeah.
the meme team. So first, let's define meme. When most people hear meme, they think image macros specifically, but a meme is any unit of culture that spreads as people replicate it and add their own twist. They are conceptually simple, participatorially easy, and generally fun. Social media teams on campaigns do a great job of amplifying memes when they happen, but political memes tend to originate externally and randomly. The Hope poster, the Pussy Hat, and much of what Trump has amplified since 2016 have come from supporters, specifically from skilled creators who could run the full stack process from message to creative to distribution. President Trump has successfully outsourced creativity to his supporters. For Senator Warren to win, we must outperform the meme efforts of our primary and general election competitors. Warren Meme Team is a people power engine to help spread the campaign's message faster and further. The purpose of this power is to win in 2020, then support President Warren in enacting her agenda. She's got an agenda, folks. I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but she's got an agenda.
This Alt the Cyborg says the reason why leftists and boomers hate them are right in the definition.
um, so the project says it says if the small group of supporters with message, creative, distro skills. Notice there's emojis associated with those, which is always fun. Can make templates that are easy to use and spread, then many more supporters can create and share their own content. If those skills can be unbundled to allow even more specialists to network brains, hearts, and hands in collaboration, then even more quality templates can be produced and circulated. Here are the is that it's the projects. Oh, that's the emoji for projects, I guess, covering the content creation and distribution lifecycle. I thought that was a Pikachu emoji for a second in front of projects.
Pika!
But that's
Wow.
right. So look at this. There's emojis associated with there. Oh, a unicorn for inspirational messaging. Uh, a unicorn for inspirational themed messages is awesome in my opinion. I mean, who doesn't love horny horses, right?
What's really funny about this is that this is the whole the left can't meme thing. Like this isn't all this stuff might be a good explanation of how to meme, but that isn't how to meme. How to meme is be funny.
Yeah.
Like
Whoa, whoa,
you
whoa,
can
whoa, 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 Stephen. Whoa,
you
whoa,
could
sir.
you could put this whole thing. It's kind of like that with music. Like if you understand music really well, you can write a whole textbook about it. But at the end of the day, the point is to sound good. You can boil the whole thing down to sound good. It's the same thing with meme. It's be clever. This is a post. This is like a textbook where you analyze it post rather than pre. You know what I mean? Like this is not how to meme at all. This is what memes
No,
are, I
this is
guess.
this is an exact breakdown, sir, of exactly how to meme. If I'm going to meme, this is the steps I follow every time I do it. And the emojis are the most important part, sir. So please
Yeah.
stand down with your aggressive speaking about my emoji talk.
There's nothing like a 69-year-old woman who decides to talk on text like a 22-year-old woman.
This is crazy, man.
So
Uh,
this, but see, this is the thing. This is how memology becomes a science. This is how it develops. We are on the forefront of a new type of cultural device that it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be the kind of thing where like everything is going to be meme. It's just you're
What's
not
the
even going to go to
problem
the
with that,
movies
though?
anymore, but you're going to go to the memes,
dude, this is crazy, man.
right?
Someone in the chat says, "Did I see the new AOC meme team that lasted for 3 hours?" No, I haven't heard about that, Boulder.
I heard something very briefly about that, but like he said, it kind of just drifted away into nothing.
And these are all linked. I wonder what all these links are,
I wasn't going to click any of
dude.
them.
I'm
It's
fucking
it's
Spyware.
sharing this in the
probably
Discord.
it probably
Spamware.
goes to it's probably goes to other documents they might be working on, other parts of the plant. I don't know, or they may just be dead.
It goes to a
So,
website that puts a virus in your Twitch stream that yells the N word over and over and over again.
well, that's
Oh,
happened.
this
That's
oh
happened
this
on my stream.
I
they
know.
appear to link to articles. So
Yeah, they
like
do. There's Slate. Yeah, there's uh,
Politico,
yeah, dude, this is ridiculous. This is like a textbook. I
right?
for the people listening on my end, I just linked this Google Doc in the Discord server if y'all want to follow along or whatever. Uh, Bear Arm says, "Thankfully, the newest generation of memes aren't letting the Epstein case sunset."
Oh my God, this is now see there is something. This is the one that I'm waiting on. I'm hoping that meme culture keeps on with this enough that it prompts her to say something. I'm waiting. I want to see. That's the experiment that I've got going on right now. Is hoping that she will, because it's everywhere. I mean, I'm just seeing little bits here, there. All the memes that are being posted about it are awesome. Steven, I think you've even jumped on board a little, haven't you, sir?
Hello, on board what?
You know what I'm talking about
No, I don't. I don't.
with
Oh,
with
you know.
The Epstein memeing.
Oh, have I? Have I?
I think I
Oh,
saw something just today.
yeah. Oh, I just put it in a text thing. Yeah, I mean, that's level one, bro. I'm
Yeah.
asking if there was an Epstein. You know?
Whoa,
Yeah, I don't even
whoa.
know if there. I don't even know if there was an Epstein, bro.
Did
Look,
Epstein exist?
Dude, it's a real thing.
I look when it's all said and done. I think that the only question we have to ask is if it's appropriate for this meme about Epstein didn't kill himself to be going around, because has it been qualified that it's killing someone when you assist with suicide? I mean,
Yeah.
if it was assisted suicide, is that killing someone? Or are you just helping them commit suicide?
Yeah. What if they What if they strenuously encouraged it?
Right. And I mean, look at how he was dressed. He was asking for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just saying.
Did I saw a report that it was the sheet he allegedly hung himself with was like an orange sheet. I don't know. You guys know Dr. Kevin Wakasi? You ever heard of this guy?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a dude that he went on a couple programs to talk about it. But he was saying it wasn't a suicide a long time ago, son. Long time ago.
Okay,
But
so
anyway,
We've been saying
so
it
you
since
guys
it
don't.
happened.
Yeah.
right.
Well, no, I mean he said there was proof, like medical proof of it for a long time, not just speculation. Like the way the hyoid bone broke or whatever. But I'm gonna butcher the shit out of whatever I'm talking about.
It's never stopped you before.
Yeah. Never, never. Boulder Vaughn wants in on this chat. I don't know, bro. Are you ready, bro? Do you guys know Boulder Vaughn?
No,
Why
I
don't
don't
you
know
got Boulder?
any
Why don't you
rocks.
watch? Why don't you watch Generational Gap a couple times, then you can get in a couple episodes or something like that. He's some kind of chatter. Seems like
Um,
good people though.
So it almost looks like this. I'm looking here at the Appendix A, the hook model. It almost looks like they're trying to explain how Trump works the meme to get people just
Dude,
like
Well, it's like I was saying earlier. I mean, the biggest part about Trump's memeing is the fact that for the most part he didn't make any of the memes. He just he spread them around. A lot of people were just making these memes to troll, to try and either make him look good or just have fun with the fact that he does the wink and the click like we were talking about earlier. And Trump saw a meme that he liked and he hit retweet, and it went instantly to 6 million people.
Yeah, I mean you could argue that's like 10% of memeing is just stealing them, just knowing which ones are gonna get stolen. And have you seen that it's a meme that you put in the comments, and it's a person sawing through the ceiling, and it's like, I have just stolen this meme.
Yeah,
and it's pointing to the one above it.
I've seen that one.
Yo,
hold
Robert,
on here.
Robert, put your face back on.
I don't want my face back on.
You don't want your face back on.
Nobody
Okay.
wants to see that crap.
Hold on. Let me do one thing real quick because I'm gonna.
He's gonna switch to the headboard camera.
Now I'm gonna add something to the mix. hang on tight, guys. This is gonna get bumpy.
No, sir, Jagger. No, sir. Oh, you get.
Oh,
you
no.
No,
He's here.
it's not you.
Let's see if he jumps in.
The
Yo.
saber tooth is here.
Sorry,
it?
no camera tonight. Not enough
It's
press time.
CWal.
Look who's here.
CWal.
I can get the camera on.
Nah,
Hey, is
I
anybody?
don't-
I'm good at it.
Now that I have all you guys here, just a quick question. Has anybody seen John? Have you guys seen John at all?
I'm not watching the live chat anymore. I'm just watching my own, which R-rated is in mine. So, thanks for watching
Oh.
R-rated.
You got an R-rated conservative in your chat?
Yes, I do.
That's
Uh-oh. R-rated conservative.
so. CWal, do you like this meme team plan? Is that working?
God,
for
it
you?
looks like a college course on memeing. It's fucking atrocious.
That's what I was saying, yo. It's some textbook shit where they don't actually know how to do it. They just know how to explain it after the fact.
And you know what's
It's bullshit.
funny? There will be memes made about this meme team that will be
Yeah.
better than anything this meme team ever creates. It's the inception of memeing.
Right. Yeah.
My God, what has happened to this world?
Memeception.
This is what we've come to. That's the idea. Is that everything is they're trying to drive everything socially through social media. It's fucking insane. I don't want policy decided this way. I want votes I can handle. But this propaganda and this manipulation, because it all requires manipulating the public.
And you assume they haven't manipulated the public the entire fucking time?
I get
Hasn't
it.
been released
I
that
know.
a lot of famous journalists actually were left-wing activists in disguise the entire fucking time?
no,
but
that
the
could never
difference-
happen.
It's different. It's different to me, I guess, because this is it's. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a different
Look,
type of
Rob,
exposure.
you're someone who wants to democratize everything. This is democratization of propaganda that has always existed.
Ah,
You wish for this, and you get it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Now do you see why my system is better?
Well, what is your
yeah, but
system,
we
CWal?
can't, we
The
can't throw
helicopter
people
ride.
out of
Bring
helicopters.
back the poll tax.
Hmm.
The vote literally costs you something. The vote is not a right. Your voice is a right. Your vote is not.
Yeah, I remember you
Well-
explained. Didn't you call into my show to talk about it?
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit a while back, but basically, you basically opt into a voluntary income tax that you then pay, and you get a vote. And because the vote costs you something, you're much more likely to treasure it and want not to waste it.
Are you saying that the vote is your precious?
Yes, it is a precious to me.
So let me get this straight. If I didn't want to be a voter, I wouldn't have to pay taxes?
Wouldn't it pay an income tax? You still have to pay a VAT tax.
Oh, well, that's just rude.
Taxation is theft.
Right? That's just rude. You're going to tax
Taxation is a cost of having a complex society.
I have
You
tried to make
pronounced
that
theft
argument,
wrong.
but nobody wants to agree with me on this. No, taxation is theft. Bullshit. You
Taxation
need it
can
to run.
become theft, though. It can become theft. I think we can
Oh,
all
sure.
agree to that. Yeah,
That's
it's just the level.
taxation without representation. Yes, sir. I understand.
Oh, there was Oh, remember, there was taxation without representation back in the old days.
I
In
think
our own
taxation.
founding.
I think that happens currently in this day and age. Because when was the
Oh,
last
yeah.
time you voted on more taxes at the federal level? I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, but look, if you actually look at the tax code, over half this nation gets a tax break, basically tax refund, without paying any taxes into the system. So less than half of this nation is paying for the other half effectively, or giving them free money.
I could agree with that.
So why do you, so I am big on the whole simplify the tax code into
No.
basically
That is just millionaires and billionaires. I'm telling you.
Look, Bernie.
Nice.
Look, Bernie. If we went to the old school way of voting, where the vote was proportionally based on how much you provided to the system, you wouldn't ever have gotten into power because the millionaires and billionaires would hold all of it.
But the millionaires and the billionaires, they're holding all the wealth. And we can have breadlines, and breadlines I think are a good thing.
Bread lines aren't bad, especially if there's government cheese. Government cheese was some good stuff, so deal with it. All right, so let me ask the three of you a question.
What's up?
In regards to this meme team plan? So, how much do the three of you think social media impacts your opinions of the individual candidates, whether the existing president, the 2016 election? How much did all of this impact you in your thought process and your decisions on voting?
Oh, I just enjoyed Trump in the debates. That's what got me. I was not originally a Trump guy. I was originally a Kasich.
Was it social media that swayed you, or was it just purely Trump himself?
It was Trump himself actually fighting back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't want to elect another loser.
What about you, Stephen? How much does social media play a role in your decisions surrounding Trump then and now?
Like, well, I mean, if a president is pro good meme, if any politician is pro good meme, I'm into that. I'm super into internet culture. But at this point, it's like I don't know how you could convince me to vote for a Democrat. Like, you could convince me to, so I'm saying regardless of factor, I'm probably going to vote for Trump, unless I vote libertarian, but I'm just here for the ride, baby. But so I'm into the spectacle. I'm into the comedy of the whole thing. So the more spectacle, the better. I don't think the whole thing is to be taken seriously this year.
Also, the more spectacle, the more the government gets light shined in places that it doesn't want it.
Exactly. That's so it's whoever can bring the most irreverence and disrespect to the whole thing. It's kind of what I'm into. So
follow-up question.
The social, yeah.
What if I ran on the Democrat ticket?
There's the practicality aspect to it. Like if a person has 0% chance to do it, and the only way, if it's like practically, I probably am going to vote Trump. But if there was a chance of the libertarian getting like 10 to 12% chance of the vote, I could be convinced. But
with the modern big L Libertarian Party, unlikely.
No,
it's not going to happen. I can't stand them unless if the Mises Caucus takes over the Libertarians. I'm into that. I like that.
Also, look, one thing that I'm really hoping in 2020 is Trump says, "Hey, I'm kicking Pence the curb, and I'm bringing in Rand Paul, and there goes the Libertarian vote straight to Trump."
That would be awesome.
I don't know. The Libertarian vote is kind of against Rand Paul right now because he's standing in Trump's corner.
Well, that's the big L's.
Yeah.
And
they're in the middle of a civil war too. Did you guys listen to Nicholson's show this morning or today?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to all of Brian. You talking about Brian?
Yeah.
Brian Nicholson. Yeah. So they're in the middle of their own thing. I mean, no one fights more than libertarians. I mean, all three of the libertarian, the right, and the left are all in a civil war right now.
Yeah.
So the right is much more unified.
Yeah. Are you sure? Because we're looking at this thing.
The right thing is. Dude, the right civil war is fascinating. It's not unified, yo. It's not. It's not about the Groypers versus the establishment, but that is the fight that's going on. It's like the America Firsters, no matter what, versus the people that are basically cucks, yo.
And
Yeah,
it's
and
finally
they
grown
are
to the
not
point where I
very
can't ignore it
popular.
anymore.
Who's not very popular? The mainstream right or the America Firsters?
Yeah, they're losing out a lot of the base.
No,
Trump
who's
has
they?
expanded the
Who-
basically the neocon cucks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
They're
know.
the old guard. Look, we're looking at a death rattle.
Look, I think you're right, but we spend a lot of time on the internet, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the mainstream right is still not, in this like 20, 30-year-old thing where I don't know, man. I maybe it's the internet I'm like overcorrecting for my internet bias, but I don't think the neocon like Israel's our greatest ally thing is as unpopular as you think. I really
Well,
don't.
okay, it's not okay. It's not that it's unpopular. It's just that when push comes to shove, America First wins out over
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's a good point. But I mean, but they're doing a good job of smearing them as trolls and alt-right and shit. I mean, I don't think it's going to hold up over time, but I find that
It's
to be
a death
fascinating.
rattle.
Yeah.
The old guard is dying. It's a death rattle. It's the same thing with the neolibs. They're losing.
Shit, I hope so.
They're losing to the far left progressives.
I hope so.
And if they do lose the far left progressives, all of those business dem voters, they're going straight into the new Republican Party, aka the party of Trump.
I see a little bit too coming along with like the union households that I grew up in.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the manufacturing unions endorse Trump in 2020. I would not be
That's
surprised.
going to be a stretch.
Look, with how crazy the left has gotten,
Yeah, but have you looked at some of the manufacturing unions as well? I mean, I see it firsthand because I'm smack dab in the middle of union country.
yeah, and
It's
what did they say
possible,
about
but
the
it's
Green
going to
New
be a
Deal?
stretch.
Yeah.
It is absolutely
Look.
possible. It is going to be a hard pressed road, though.
Yeah.
They'll go
I said I
green
wouldn't be
before they go Trump.
surprised.
Yeah, nobody's going to beat him. I think the writing's on the wall. They're failing. The Democrats are failing at everything that they try to do, and it's fallen apart for them. So it doesn't matter how good the candidates are. Nobody's going to stack up against him. And even if you bring a libertarian into the field, it's not going to make a difference. And CWal made a very good point. It wouldn't surprise me to see Pence dropped and someone like Rand Paul folded in.
And he's going to get most of the little L libertarians,
Sure,
which
yeah.
means that
Right.
party won't have a viable, even remotely viable third-party candidate. The big
Exactly.
L libertarian party might just die.
Right. It's going to cuck because it's going to fold into the Republican Party, and that's going to be its last gasp if something like that happens. Now, is that to say that I wouldn't put it past him to tap one of his two kids to step into the role instead of Pence, but that's just me speculating. I know there's got to be a thought of grooming one of them for the next.
I don't know about that, but I'm
2024.
thinking Rudy maybe.
Oh, fuck,
Giuliani,
no way.
no. He,
Oh my
he's-
God.
He
Now,
has
do
too
you
much
want-
baggage.
You want to talk about a hit? I'm sorry, but somebody's going to be Epsteined if that were to happen. I'm just saying, it's going to happen.
Are you saying that Epstein didn't kill himself?
I'm sorry. What did I use the wrong? I'm sorry. Did that word slip out? I don't know what you're saying. All right. So here's a question for you. So, because my mind begins to extrapolate further into the future when I'm long gone. But do any of the three of you foresee a day when memes become sponsored?
Yes, and then they die off.
Exactly.
No,
Well, that
I
meme
will.
would die.
Corporate sponsors. So when you think about something like this, Warren's meme team, well, are we going to start seeing companies sponsoring meme teams to where they're branding them with their logo? They start to speak through meme.
Well,
Are we going to move to that?
There's a very unique thing within the meme community. They can smell a shill a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's not a meme; it's an ad.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can
could see
guess.
viral marketing borrowing aspects of meme culture to do viral marketing, but that's been around for years.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
as far as it'll ever get, viral marketing.
Well, my thought is that at some point, like anything else, it's going to become trite and derivative and sell out. I mean, it's going to sell out in that way to where, true meme culture goes away to where it just
Here's
becomes
the problem,
Well,
though.
no, it
that
doesn't go
advertising,
away. It
like you
morphs.
said.
the reason why the other things like sold out at a certain point. There was a time in Hollywood when there was a lot of really experimental and interesting shit going on, and look what's happened to it now. But the reason why was because of the amount of investment it took to do a movie. Whereas, what is the investment of making a meme and posting it? Maybe a couple of hours if it's a really complex one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, the system is so democratized and decentralized, there is no way to corrupt it.
Because I'm seeing that as a way for corporations to, get their influence into politics.
They're already there.
Do you think is that happening a lot more than is
They're
recognizable?
already there, man.
They've been there
Well,
forever.
give me
Super
an
PACs?
example. Well, super PACs, yeah, but I'm talking about in meme culture. Are corporations using meme culture currently to press agendas as far as politics are concerned? Is that currently happening is what I'm asking.
I doubt it, just because, again, the meme community is very good at sniffing out the shills. There is just something obvious about a shill meme.
And here's the other thing that goes along with memes. So, I mean, think back to what memes were just a couple years ago when it was a single picture that you cropped out from a movie somewhere, and it had white text on the top and white text on the bottom. And look at what we see now.
Well, those are still here today.
Well, they're not used as much, though.
Yeah,
because they morphed.
Evolved. Yeah, and the thing and Rob, the amount of freedom that you need to give to a meme creator, no corporation is going to back that.
Except Warren.
They would have. Because the thing is, okay, Rob, how much have you worked in corporate America?
Well, some. I mean, depends on what the point
you have to get your supervisor to sign off, then they have to get their supervisor to sign off.
Sure.
And the thing is, I guarantee you, the supervisor is not nearly as hip to this, and definitely not the supervisor hip to the new culture. So they are very unlikely to do memes and understand them.
Well, it's I'm thinking of it as,
and they're likely to demand edits. I mean, what happens when editors get into a movie? What the fuck happens when the company fucks with a movie? It always fails.
Well, it's this idea that as the meme culture becomes more widespread, right? This is as it becomes more prevalent. When you have things like this, a meme team plan, this kind of talk, this kind of thing going on, to where it's actually becoming a weaponizable thing in discussion. It's going to become diluted. It's going to become the idea of the meme culture is going to change significantly in the landscape of the future. Am I correct? To where the original meme culture is not going to be a real thing.
Well, also John brought up something good in the thing. The silence brand meme literally was a reaction to brands trying to meme. Mm-hmm. And whenever a show meme is picked up, the thing gets memed to hell and back. And that will hurt the brand, so corporate is not going to sign off on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as I said, viral marketing is as far as they'll ever go, and adopt elements of it. They won't ever try to co-opt it, because they know the second they try to fucking co-opt it, they will become the meme.
I gotcha. So you think that kind of resiliency will last?
It's too decentralized, too democratized. Why do you think corporate America has failed to stop things like torrenting? It is too decentralized. They've tried everything. They've even gotten governments involved, and they can't stop it. It just changes, evolves, and moves on.
Well, then knowing that you've got people talking whether not speaking to the validity of it, but when you look at something like this meme team plan, is that the direction that you want? Is that where we want campaigning? Is that where we want politics to go?
It's not whether we. It's not a want. It's a what is going to happen. Memes are a form of communication, and internet and social media communication is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So there is no way to stop it. I mean, what was it? A long time ago, it used to be stops. What was it? Debates were done at various stops along the campaign route. Then the radio came around, and I guarantee you, people were talking about it, saying, "Do you really want radios to prevent them from actually coming to our area and talking to us and looking at us?" I guarantee you, the same stuff has been said 1,000 times with every advancement in communications technology.
I could appreciate that.
Rob, do you know that it was considered unprecedented and insane for FDR to do his fireside chats, for him to directly talk to the American people every week on the radio? It was considered insane and unpresidential.
It's considered insane for Trump to use his Twitter account to directly talk to the people.
And I guarantee you, next president is going to be using Twitter a lot like Trump, though probably not nearly with as much ego and probably a hell of a lot more of a shill.
I can see that.
I would have to say it's probably going to be a couple of presidents after Trump. I mean, I think he's kind of put a stigma on that kind of thing to where it's gonna. I don't know. Is it going to have an impact?
Well, it depends. Are we going to have a President Rand Paul 2024? Because if we do, he loves his Twitter a little bit too.
Is he good on Twitter?
He's got some hot takes here and there.
Cool. Yeah, I like Rand Paul. He's tight with Trump.
Yeah, he is the libertarian Jiminy Cricket on Trump's shoulder.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that Rand Paul's playing 4D to get the libertarians in the White House in 2024?
I don't think it's ever going to happen, yo.
Not as the big L Libertarian Party, but maybe as a reformed Republican Party.
Well, let me ask you this: how far fetched is it for him to run as a libertarian Republican? I mean,
well, he'll run as a Republican, but he'll espouse libertarian values and reignite the reignite the what part of the base was it? The Tea Party base.
Right.
The ones that were co-opted.
Right. What if he gets elected and then he just switches it just declares himself a libertarian after the election? Can he do that?
I think he'd be impeached pretty fucking quick. They'd find a reason. Both sides would find
I was just going to say, is that impeachable? I mean,
no. They would find a reason to impeach him.
Well, and remember, that's all political.
He doesn't grab anybody by the pussy. I'm just saying, there's nothing impeachable there. Come on.
No, what I mean is the system, that would be a bridge too far for the system, and they would make an example of him to prevent that happening in the future.
Yeah, more than likely. I don't know. It would just, but who would be running it? Would it be the Democrats or Republicans? I mean, think about it. They'd have to like agree with each other or something,
When it comes to certain things, they're very good at agreeing with each other. Remember, what was it? PRISM and the spying on the Americans and the Patriot Act and the war in Iraq. Yeah, there was a lot of bipartisan support then.
So does the meme culture cause too much divisiveness? Does it instill too much divisiveness
really.
in its effect from a political standpoint?
No. Who gives a fuck? There's nothing to cause as much divisiveness as just the ideas. That's why I think it's that people have it all ass backwards about like Trump is divisive and memes are divisive.
No, it's the media.
The things that
it's
the
media, dying media.
The things that came before Trump and the memes are the divisive.
Well, I won't disagree that we weren't becoming divisive already. I mean, we were on a path to it, but certainly meme culture, and I wasn't necessarily relating it to Trump, but I can bring him into it when we talk about meme culture because he's widespread in it. I mean, stoking the fire of divisiveness. I mean, it doesn't help the situation overall. Am I correct? And I
He
only say
doesn't.
this.
He doesn't stoke the fire more than Obama did. It's just the
Well,
media setting the media is just ripping out a fucking
Sure.
flamethrower every day.
I
I
get it.
mean, what
I
was it on
won't argue
average? The
that.
media. I mean, what on average? I mean, Obama was the media's golden boy, and Trump. They talk about him 3 times as much
And
as they
he
did at Obama.
and just we all know though, deep down inside, he loves that. He loves it.
Oh yes,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it gives him immense power.
There is it's that old mindset. No, there is no bad press because they're talking about you, right? I mean, that's what's really most important to him. I think he loves the fact that everybody attacks him constantly. It stokes his ego to the extent that he comes out and just really puts it out there on Twitter.
And I mean, Orange Man Bad drives ratings like you wouldn't believe.
Right?
But it's having a diminishing effect at this point. They're losing ratings left and right. It's basically like what's a good way to put it? It's like shooting up a really hard drug like heroin. You're never gonna quite get as good as that first hit.
Sure. But remember, though, the beautiful thing about the media, the mainstream media, is the news cycle. I mean, your clicks can be way down, but let something really major happen in the news cycle, and everybody's clicks go up. I mean, because there's a scramble for information, and it's a
Yet
numbers
the peaks
game.
are getting lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, but that's kind of
And
what's
these
happening.
companies are
Where
firing people left and right.
new media is having an impact there, which I'm wholly appreciative of. Trump is not helping them at all with, constantly branding everyone as fake news. That has an impact on viewership, I know, because people don't know what to trust anymore when it comes from the mainstream media. It's a overwhelming amount of shit. I can't tell you how many headlines I read where I'm just like, that's not what you led me to believe from your headline. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing.
And people are seeing it more and more and more. And look what Veritas just dropped with ABC and what CBS did in response. They fired the wrong person.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier. Yeah.
So, I get it. It's dying. Part of it is, it's lamestream media from the simple fact that you can't believe anything that's truly created anymore. I mean, you can't really even trust a lot of new media that uses mainstream media to, when we put these articles up and we talk about them, we've got to go on that grain of salt, like Ed always ends his show with, where, it's like, nothing, you can't believe anything we're showing you here. We're just showing you some, this is what it is. What it is.
The opposite tends to be pretty accurate these days compared to what they're reporting.
Well, it makes you, and then I turn around and I look at someplace like BuzzFeed News, and I actually read an article that makes.
Yeah, I like BuzzFeed Nudes.
I actually read an article, and it was from a reporter who had spent the last 10 years in the Ukraine and was giving a counter perspective of what it was like in the Ukraine right now with all this talk of them here in the United States and what kind of impact it's having over there. And it was a very well written journalistic article. And I'm like, I had to check 3 different times to make sure I was still on BuzzFeed with the article I was reading. And I'm like, this says BuzzFeed, but this is actually an article. This is actually reporting. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
This says BuzzFeed, but it's not talking about which Office character you are.
Right. But it was,
Well, what's the old saying? A broken clock is right twice a day.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, it's you still have to sift through it all to find the little nuggets and grains of potential truth, but you can't believe it anymore. But how is that? Is that not going to affect new media eventually as well? Are we not going to eventually?
It's democratized. It's democratized.
Are we going to sell out to our biases? I mean,
why is that? One of the reasons the media popular is because they aren't sellouts. The second one of them sells out, they get dropped like a hot bag of shit.
Mm-hmm. And it happens quick.
Yeah, absolutely does.
It happens quick, yo.
Yeah. So, Rob, you are using older mindsets to try to judge the now. You need to actually think in the now.
Well, I want to take that
To
a
be honest,
step.
you need to think like a Zoomer a little bit.
Hold on, but using history as a guide is
Yeah.
for precaution is not
Oh yeah,
a
it's a
bad
precaution,
thing.
but the problem is, there are moments in time where you have no precedence, where you have nothing you can compare it to.
I can give you that. I can give you that to a
Look,
certain
we're
extent.
talking about a level of human communication that couldn't have been imagined by pretty much anyone. I mean, even science fiction didn't get this far. Or they said it would happen in, 2,000 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Trek, did Star Trek talk about social media? No, they talked about it, advanced communications, but that was more traditional.
They had the first Nokias.
Hmm.
Scotty,
Yeah.
beam me up.
Yeah, they basically came up with the concept of wireless communication. Though the concept of radio was around obviously for a long time, and the first cell phones were kind of in existence. It's weird. It was like there was a couple of cities that had a service where with a radio you could get hooked into the phone system.
I have to say this: the one major prop I'll give to the original Star Trek is that I don't have to open my grocery store door anymore.
Yo, Jay Edgar.
What's up?
Why don't you give a couple final thoughts, and I'm going to sign off, okay?
Well, I want to take
go
what CWal had said a little bit further about selling out here, and we do have an old guard that's still on social media that is convinced that every one of us out here in new media is looking to sell out. I actually got in a long debate with somebody on Twitter because he had to go through all of my tweets and scream about every one of them because I disagreed with him on Occupy or on the Democrat page, and the last thing he said was, "Dude, why are you even trying? You're never going to work for Fox News." I don't want to work for Fox News.
Yeah.
I can't say fuck on Fox News.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, don't
I
say
would
that.
never want to work for. I wouldn't want to work for Fox News. I don't think they treat their IT guys very well.
But I mean, to this guy over on the left, that is like, for us on the right, the ultimate messiah of what to do, and like that's not it at all.
No, look. It's more new media is using Fox News than Fox News using new media.
Yeah.
And enjoying, the Tucker Carlson face meme. And I have a theory about what that face means. He is thinking of the word to cause every liberal's head to explode. He will one day just crack a small smile, say the word, and his guest's head will just explode live on air.
Tucker's tight, man. He's like the only person on TV I like.
He is the only boomer that is tolerable.
I thought he was a Gen Xer.
No.
How old is he?
He might be Gen X, but he's fucking boomer,
Gen
man.
X. He's Gen X. He's Gen X.
He's Gen X, but he's got boomer mentalities, man.
Right? It's not hard to have. Hey, but it's like you said, a lot of us still look back to the way things were and wonder, is that ever going to be possible again to get some, because that's what everybody talks about wanting. They don't realize that's what they're saying, but that is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want things to go back to what it once was, when this country was great, when we were productive, when we weren't throwing all of our issues in each other's faces constantly, and we didn't have this open divisiveness.
Yeah, and the plans that I have would take probably a generation or two to fully implement.
Wow.
How long does it take to throw someone out of a helicopter?
Disavow.
Jeez,
that's during the first half generation.
The first half.
I'm gonna sign off, y'all. So why don't you? So this was CWal, J. Edgar, and Robert. And why don't you guys plug your work real fast so people that are listening can subscribe to your channels?
Host, do you want to go first?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, Robert, you go first.
Hey, this is Robert from the Generational Gap. You can find us on YouTube in our, just look up the Generational Gap. We've got all the links to our D-Live. We've got it to Discord. We've got Freedom Scoop as well. You can find all of us on Freedom Scoop as well, which is one of the best places to find us. Everything that we're putting out there. John, my co-host, would normally be here, but he broke his internet, and I don't know how he did that, but he'll be back. We're always on Monday nights, shooting the shit from 9 to 10 Eastern time, and then we're of course here on Friday nights from 8:30 till 10:30ish, or till we get tired of talking. One of the two. But thanks, Steven.
Cool, Jagger.
I'm Jay Edgar. I am the editor-in-chief for freedomscoop.com. You can find me over on YouTube. The channel name is Jay Edgar with a spiraled globe in front of it. New content every weekend on a solo video, and every Monday at 6:30. Check out Ed's World, live streamed on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. What else do I have? DLive? Or Tuesday morning on the audio platforms.
Cool. CWal?
I am a little bit harder to find out there as I more kind of pop in to various places.
Pokes head into chat.
No. Drives half track in the chat. Get it right.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I remember the good old days before the half track when you were goose stepping in.
I upgraded. I got a company car, man.
It's a monster truck.
But I exist out there. I'm a lurker, so I won't plug my social media, but I will plug a show that still exists, and we're trying to bring it back. Me and a couple of guys called the Deplorable Batcave podcast. I'll try to get a link to Stephen Ignoramus at some point, and hopefully we can bring the show back. But we are really intermittent. We got a lot of guys that show up on the show, like 5 to 6, and we just talk current events and for an hour, and then go away, and then reappear maybe 3 months later.
Cool.
It's highly deplorable.
It is.
Very deplorable.
Cool, y'all. Well, have a good rest of your show, okay?
All right, Stephen.
All
Thanks
right,
for
talk to
stopping.
you later.
Thank you.
All
Learn
peace
Piano
out.
Man.
All right. I will. I got a concert coming up next Wednesday, so I'll try to learn it, okay? Peace out,
Yeah,
y'all.
no problem.
All right. Later.
Take care.
And then there were 3.
And a giant saber tooth in the middle of my screen.
Right?
In a nice suit, too.
Wait, is that a saber tooth? Is that what that is? Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, to keep a very long story short, was playing Ark Survival Evolved, and we had an artist in the crew, and this is what became my character, the saber-tooth tiger. That's black and white.
So we're calling that a tiger. Okay. All right.
I can show you the original image.
I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of tigers. I don't know. But, this trans society we have, if that's a trans tiger.
No, it's a chibi black and white tiger. It's basically cartoon tiger.
It's more like a saber-toothed tabby cat is kind of what it gives me the vibe.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Yeah. Yep. Hold on. I'll pull up the original. I think I got it in my Google Drive somewhere. You guys continue chatting.
Well, actually, since we're nearing the end of the line here, because it's almost my beauty sleep time, and I know everybody just heard you tell Stephen what's going on. You got anything going on in the future? You got any fun guests going to be on your show popping in?
Well, it looks like I'm going to be reaching out to the R-rated conservative here this week. He'll be coming up here. I've got guest friend of Jack Stalker's is going to be coming on this week here. I actually did have one other topic I wanted to bring up for you if you were game for it.
Oh, please. Yes, I remember you did say something about that. Hit me with it.
So, my state, Wisconsin, is currently in the process of putting a constitutional amendment in place to eliminate Governor Evers' ability to have a line item veto, and every other governor coming forward to line item veto, because he totally screwed them on a budget and reallocated the money that they would have spent on the lines he vetoed into the schools.
Get rid of the line item veto. Great. I hate those things.
Well, see, I'm on the other side of that because I like the idea, especially on the budget. I want to expand the line item veto.
I want to set up a balanced budget amendment that forces them to have a balanced budget every year, no matter
I'd like
what,
to see that too.
based on the tax revenue of the previous year.
That would be a nice dream world to live in. I mean, I'm just saying.
So I guess my question is, what do you think? CWal already put his point out there, but what do you think on the line item veto? What are the pros and cons do you see?
Well, I understand the necessity of it because, simply put, nothing is perfect, right? And there are things that just, especially when it comes to a budget, there are things where you're just going to have, no, we got to cut this. It's got to go back to the drawing board, but we can't hold up the budget, right? We can't, these are the kind of things that stall out a government. So the line item veto adds some expediency to these processes, in my opinion. Do I think that it should be used willy-nilly? No. I think that there should be, forethought to it to some extent.
Yet it will be.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I agree with that. I understand. I don't agree that it should happen. I'm just saying I know it will. But on the flip side, I don't agree with anybody saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of this because it didn't turn out the way we wanted this time around."
Which is what Wisconsin
We're
Republicans are doing right now. I'm kind of
right.
disappointed in them.
That I have a problem with. Okay, so the way the system is set up didn't work out in our favor. Let's change the system. I mean, sounds like something that should go to the people for a vote. See, this is one of those things that
Well,
I really
here's how it has to work in our system or in our state. The Senate just passed the amendment bill. It has to go through the House in the state, or the state assembly rather, not the House. So it has to go through the assembly. Then we have a referendum on it. Then it comes back and it has to pass both chambers again. So we will get to vote on it.
okay. So the people can shut that down one way or the other, right? They can either shut down the line item. Okay, so as long as the people are going to get a say in this, that's the most important thing to me. Um, if it's going to be allowed to just go in and change, I have a problem with that. It's like saying, okay, I don't like this amendment in the Constitution. Let's just change it arbitrarily because it didn't help us this time around, or it didn't speak to what we wanted to have happen right now. That's almost as willy nilly as overusing the line item veto, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that or not. I mean,
I
you
like
see
it for
the
budgets
value.
because they're throwing all kinds of pork into a budget or an omnibus because we've never had a budget federally. They're throwing all kinds of pork in there in order to force people on board to get passed. So for a president to be able to come in and line item veto it back out, A, we could cut spending in a hurry by doing that, but B, that gives more control and gives us a path to going back to single item vote or single item bills rather.
And then you have a president that line item vetoes Social Security like a fucking mad lad,
Please.
or welfare checks.
Well, is that necessarily a bad thing? I don't know.
To me, no. The system's so fucked, I'm never gonna see it.
Yeah.
So I prefer not paying it.
But here's something to chew on before we start leaving our where we can find us out on the end of this is that this has actually been ruled unconstitutional already because both chambers passed this and it went to Clinton's desk and he passed it as well. So it was a bipartisan thing. And then Democrats in New York State went back and challenged it, took it up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court struck it down as unconstitutional.
Yep.
1996.
So unless we get an amendment to do it, which I doubt we will.
No, not in this divisive political climate.
Are they hoping to can you set new precedents then? Are we in a
we've
day
got a
and
different
age
court now, so yeah, they can go ahead and rehear it again.
See, there's where it always comes down to anyway.
But a case would have to come forward from down from the people.
Right.
Well, more specifically, they would have to repass it, then it would have to be challenged again.
Right.
AKA what FDR did after threatening to pack the courts.
And they're threatening to do that too.
Yep. So another reason why we should stick with Republicans, because damn it, the other side is trying to completely break everything.
But see, now, this is an excellent example of, but this is a state, this is states' rights, a state trying to rule itself, govern itself, this kind of thing. It's like, even on a state level, they don't fucking get it right all the time. I mean, they just don't. It's this idea that we can ever have somebody getting it right is going to be a failure.
And it is just a partisan thing here too, because the same people were sitting in the same assembly when Scott Walker was governor here, and they had no problem with line item veto when Scott Walker was governor. They just don't like Evers, and I don't care for Evers either, but there's better ways to go about this.
Well, when it's all said and done, the Democrats are showing right now that, it's okay to beat a dead horse. They're
also showing withdrawal symptoms of power loss. It's a fucking drug to them, man.
The entire way that politics is carried out, I believe, is in the middle of a very major transition right now. Donald Trump not necessarily being the reason, but Donald Trump and the deeper divisiveness between Republicans and Democrats than we've had in even in the building division over the last 20 to 30 years. It is at a critical point now. We're reaching critical mass, and it's going to completely revamp the landscape in politics and how we proceed forward. And it's
Well,
I'm not sure if I should be nervous or not.
Tim Pool kind of put it best. If the media was honest about the whole Trump thing, and there was some bipartisan gerfangling back and forth where they actually did work with each other, Trump would be considered a moderate Republican president.
Mm-hmm.
Just has an ego on him. That's what he would literally be called. Just an ego-driven moderate president.
Well, I will ask this. Because something that was, I was looking at the Donald Trump Jr. interview on The View, and there was something that was pointed out that I remember having been said when Obama was elected. And Mitch McConnell said, we're going to make sure you're only a one-term president. Basically the Republicans were going to try and do whatever they could to get him. So why is it?
Because they were referring.
Why did they not go to the same level?
Because they were talking about by the ballot. They also said that they would never. They also said behind closed doors they would never impeach Obama.
No, you would be nailed to the cross for that.
Yeah. Unless the media was honest about the scandals Obama had, he would have been the media would have nailed his ass to the cross.
No, I still think you would have been nailed to the cross for impeaching the first black president.
Well, the first black president kind of executed Americans without a trial and let guns go into Mexico that directly led to the deaths of multiple Americans, as well as tons of Mexicans, which arguably is an act of fucking war, as well as IRS scandal, using intelligence agencies against the press. Look, take your fucking pick. Obama could be impeached for it.
He could be. You are absolutely right about that, but also keep in mind the fact that if Republicans came together and tried to impeach him, all of that folly and talk about the R next to Republicans' name standing for racist would suddenly become the front page of the headline news. Obama knew that he was invincible.
I'm saying that if the media was honest, they wouldn't go down that road. Because if they reported honestly on this, they would be calling for his impeachment because of all the illegal shit he did.
He was invincible and he knew it.
Is it so? So then I'll put it out. Then let me ask you this, Ed. Was Obama's race very specifically the reason why all of the scandal that could have been presented throughout his presidency wasn't? I mean, was it that controlled?
Well, it was that, and to try and paint the Republicans as a neo-Nazi, racially divided party.
Remember, every single Republican president, since Reagan, the Democrats have muttered about impeachment every single time.
Oh, it's gone back. It's not been since Reagan. It's been since Nixon. And before.
Look, one entire side of the United States has manipulated the media, has manipulated the people through the media to make it seem like they're the good guys in history. Why is it always seeming when Democrats fuck up, oh, that was Republicans because the party swapped? It didn't happen. The swaps never happened.
Oh, sure, everybody knows that they switched in 1967. Just ask any journalist out there.
Even though only one Democrat out of hundreds made the switch. And it took, 20 years for the South to start voting red for Republican, as they became less racist over time.
So Trump is the reason why the Republican Party decided to stop being cucks. Ultimately,
effectively, he's fighting back.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like their their bodyguard, as it were. If you've ever seen that movie, it's an older one, but He's their hero. Now they can all stand up and fight back. Now that they've got somebody at the forefront.
He's not the hero they deserve. He's the hero they need.
Right. All right. So maybe the Republican Party will grow a backbone. Who knows?
Well, the trick is, one, they can't cave to the Democrats, but I think enough Republicans at this point know that there is no being friends with the media. They've tried it for 50 years, and the media has always tried to crucify them.
And
so,
additionally on that, they know also that turning their back on Trump in a lot of their districts means they can never go home. They're going to have to go live in New York, where they're going to be crucified over and over again for having an R next to their name.
Basically, they are doing everything they can to keep their special interest buddies happy at the end of the day, and that's all they can do at this point. Otherwise, they back Trump. They literally have no choice anymore. And sure, you've got guys like Romney, but Romney is like the old guard. He is where McCain's spirit has gone.
Yeah, you don't throw that name out there. That's nobody even likes that name. Just
Romney, McCain,
McCain.
Ryan at this point.
Well, what was it? Remember what killed what was it? McCain in the end was the conservatism that he didn't let out. It turned into cancer and took him out. His conservatism took a bullet for America.
Nice. Well, on that note, so Ed, I appreciate you jumping in and filling John's shoes. I know that they might be a little bit smelly, but that's I try and get him to use odor eaters. What can you do? He says it's a boomer thing.
It's the Irish thing in him.
CWal, thanks for dropping by and rolling your half track through. It's good to.
Hey, if you guys want to get in the back, we can go get some ice cream.
Nice. I like that. I'm too old for ice cream at this time of night. What can I say?
Okay, then whiskey.
Folks, if you're still out there with us, hit the like button if you've liked what you're hearing. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are going to get the hell out of here. Don't forget, on December the 6th, we are going to be having the first annual holiday charity stream by the Generational Gap, and we're going to be going from 12 to 12 with lots of let's call it fun and excitement. Those are good words to use. We'll even attempt to live up to that because, we're special in that way.
Okay. John will live up to it. Rob, your jury's still out on you.
Well, if his internet stays good.
Right. Because Because, at least I stay connected, right? That's all that really matters.
Yeah. Also, don't worry. You've got me. I can fill not Rob's shoes. John's shoes. I can fill John's shoes. I'm just a little bit more half-tracky than him.
I was just going to say, I don't wear shoes, dude. Shoes harsh my mellow. God.
Get out of here, you hippie boomer.
All right. Yeah, that's me, man. But anyway, so we'll get the hell out of here. Don't forget, we'll be back on Monday night for the next Shooting the Shit episode. It will probably be John and I, but if not, I'll scramble for a co-host once again and see who I can drum up. Then we'll be back next Friday again for our regular episode. And again, we can expect John to be there. But, Ed, I love that you're there for me, pal. You guys have yourselves a great night. We're going to get the hell out of here. And peace out, everyone. Oh, by the way, look down below. All the links, all the numbers, all those things, they're down there. Call us on our cell or our pager. Our pager number's down there. Yes, you can reach us on our pager. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
See ya.
Take care.